Hello, my friends. Welcome to our tarot reading for September. It's one of those things where I want to say, can you believe it's September? Can you believe it's whatever new month? It's always the same. Time is crazy. I have a beautiful triad of cards for you today. I'm going to dive right in. First, we have the Magician, our card of the manifester, the creator, the one who turns imagination and vision into reality. Here we have a young woman, I believe, a young person with tea, a notebook, a bag, some books, and a river behind them, and a bridge. That bridges are always connectors. And there's this bright golden sky in the back, and the gaze is turned toward the horizon, the sky, and this kind of like daydreaming, discerning, seeking, imagining kind of gaze and presentment is what I want to say. Looking out into the future, projecting, imagining what could be there, what is possible, what could I possibly do to create it. I also love that this figure in the Magician is writing in a notebook, and I'm a big believer at Typewriter Tarot about using writing to enact spells, to call in the future, to jump into new timelines, to shift our beliefs, to get us out of old ways that aren't serving us anymore, and getting us into new paradigms that can help us really create what we came here to create and make and to enjoy it. Our next card, we'll kind of tie all this back together, but our next card is the Three of Pentacles. This is the Next World tarot deck. Comes in this box. It's sort of like late stage capitalism, climate crisis, pre, post apocalyptic kind of vibes, with lots of diverse humans coming together to kind of get through the world. And also all of it illustrated really beautifully. Like even in this crumbling world, things are really beautiful. So we have Three of Pentacles, the team, it says. I also really like this deck. It gives you the cards association astrologically, and it gives you usually a little phrase for the minor arcana cards. So Three of Pentacles, teamwork makes the dream work. It is hard to do things all by ourselves, just us, one person. We can do a lot. Like, we are wildly capable, wildly imaginative, filled with potential. We have capacity for many things. We have many talents. We have many interests. But to just like go out and do this one thing all by ourselves with no help, with no support, just us and the universe, you can still do a lot, but you can do so much when you have a team. I just had a session with my coach today where she had me just declare like loudly, I need help, which is really hard for me to say and do. And as I like to tell you, I got a lot of Capricorn in my chart, so I can work hard. I can like keep moving things forward. I can stay in there for the long haul. But I love support. I need support. I want help too. And having a team isn't just about having help. It's also, how can we magnify and multiply the possibilities that we can dream up with the brains we have, with the souls we have, with the experiences we've been through, the talents that we're bringing to the table. If you team up with, let's say, a writer, a painter, a musician, a dancer, you can do so much. There's so much experience, so much different possibility. The dancer knows about movement and music. The musician knows about instruments and beats and rhythms. The writer knows about words and language. And the painter knows about colors and representing, like speaking to the human mind, the human spirit through visual cues and visual artistry. So coming together with this diverse set of experiences and talents, we can do so much, so much. This is really a nice card, I think, for writers. Like, so much of our work we think is very solitary, very isolated, but it does not have to be. It really doesn't. And even if we are doing writing that happens with us and only us and our computer in our room by ourselves, that doesn't preclude us from having amazing collaborations, being in community with other writers, and doing some of our creative work in the presence of others, feeling that support, asking for help, asking for guidance. We live in a society that's very much about the individual. We've lost some of our ancestors' very communal practices and orientations because we're of this general belief that, like, just as people, we should be able to do it all, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, it really doesn't. What if we all just helped each other? Like, instead of capitalism? That's my message. I'm like, what about this instead of capitalism? What about that instead of capitalism? My favorite questions. Our last card is the world. Oh, look at this beautiful person, hand on their heart. Got fire, got water, got earth, got air, this swirl of divine purple, something that looks like a serpent or a vine, very encircling kind of energy. The world is where we're all trying to go. We're trying to find out what is possible if we really lean into the possibility, into our dreams, into our imagination. The Magician is number one. It's the second card in this journey, and the world is the very end. So it starts here with looking out at the horizon, daydreaming, writing in our journals, imagining other futures, thinking about what we want to create and how we want to create it and what we're interested in and what we care about and what our values are. And what in the alchemy of all of that can we bring through us? And we take it into community. We don't have to do it by ourselves. What does it look like to be in relationship, to take all of this beautiful, amazing personal material and ideas and concepts and visions and work with other people to either feel supported or to make it happen? And then we find out what's possible. We find out what we can create. We actualize a better reality than the one we had before. This one has us kind of longing and excited and eager and curious about a future that the world delivers. And we really get to see, like, wow, look at what we can do together. Look at the different ways that we can work together. Look at the ways that we can bring individual vision into a collaborative space and make something so amazing and beautiful. I really like this spread and this trajectory for a couple different reasons for this time. One of which is that the Magician was one of our anchor cards for the Creative Coven last in our new moon for Virgo. We could choose the Magician, the Hermit, or the Knight of Pentacles. So some of you may have chosen the Magician as your anchor card. And here it is again, kicking off the month for us. And as you're getting this, Labor Day is around the corner. And for me, as a critic of capitalism, thinking about Labor Day and labor and the workplace just lights me up. And what I want to say about that is, you know, for those of you who are in the workforce, like you go to a job and you have a boss, I hope you love your job. It's okay if you don't. I invite you to think about your relationship to your work. What do you love about it? What do you wish were different? If you could sit back in your workplace and like imagine, vision, a different way, what would you change? What would you ask to be different so that you could feel differently, so that you could create differently, so you could work differently? And what do you think your coworkers are desiring? And I just want to invite you also to like, everyone has a different relationship to their work. So I just want to invite you to check in on your coworkers if you go to a workspace. Like, talk to them. What are they thinking or feeling? How are they doing at work? We also went through a whole pandemic that's still happening. There's inflation in our economy. There's yeah, inflation across the board, home prices, our rents, everything, our jobs, our paychecks inflating too. And if not, what would we want at work to feel more supported, to feel more human, to feel more whole, to feel more present? And what do you think your coworkers are needing? Do they need backup? Does someone need to like stand there and say, I need help? Like, who needs help? Do all of you need help? And if so, what if you came together in one way or another? How can you back each other up? I have some experience in labor organizing. It's very powerful. It's very fraught. There's a lot of things people think about it. That's the part I think is fraught, is people's opinions about it. But there are a lot of people coming together to move an agenda forward. And it's a really interesting space. And it's coming to life again now. And I think a lot of us just like go to work and we know we're supposed to accept it if we want to get the paycheck. Like, that's the deal we signed. You go there, you put up with what's there, you take home your money, and you try to have a good life. And I just want to invite you to envision more, and not just like to make your workplace better or to make your work life better or to support your coworkers, but also so that more people they can come home from work and feel sufficient and energized. They feel like they have enough. And so they can keep creating. They can imagine different projects, do cool things with people, enjoy our lives. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to work. We're here to enjoy ourselves and see what we can create. So I'm throwing in a little Labor Day message into this because I care about these things. I think about work a lot. It matters to me a lot how people have to work and are asked to work. And it's okay for you to think about that too, and to talk to your coworkers about it, and not just to like love the complaining of happy hour, like where you just vent and let it all go, but also what can we do together? What could we change? What could be a little bit different? And what might the impact of that be? But of course, take this message just into your life personally. What are you wanting to create? What would teamwork look like? Could that look like working with a coach? Could that look like getting your friends together for a writing time? Does that just look like coming to writing hour next week, September 13th, the week after this? Sorry, the week after next. September 13th is Tuesday, 7 p.m. What would teamwork look like for you? Where do you want to feel more teamwork? Where do you want to feel more supported? If you were to stand in the middle of a room and scream, I need help, what would you be asking help for? Like, what kind of help would you want? Who would you want it from? What prevents you from saying that now? I know I'm learning what prevents me from saying it. But get curious about what it is for you. And then whatever you learn, whatever you're holding as a vision, as a desire to create, and whatever you feel like you need help with, support with, or just like the fun of being with a group who's like moving and grooving, shaking, making things happen. How does that put you on a path that feels aligned with who you are, with your values, what you believe in? So as we go into September in this remainder of Virgo season, getting into Libra season, these are some things to think about. I hope that honors you in some way. I hope that resonates for you in some way. And I also want to bring your attention to an offering I'm doing with a collaborator, Portia Brown, who's a sex and intimacy coach. This is about pleasure magic, and I have no idea what kind of associations come up for you when I say that, but this is really a journey to help you get clear and get in touch with what's in you, what your vision is, what your desire is, what's wanting to come out. I think because of capitalism, we look at like the menu that's out there that capitalism gave us for the kinds of jobs we can have or the way a life can look. And we try to pick from the menu and be like, well, this one's like fine, that would work. It's close to my true desire. Or we look at it and we're like, I don't know, none of these like really sound great. They don't sound like me. And so I feel messed up. I feel like I don't fit into the paradigm. But the menu is incomplete and you have your own menu. And pleasure magic is about helping you orient toward that and doing a really like beautiful, pleasurable practice to help you move your life in that direction. I have used this practice in powerful, amazing ways, and I'm going to share more about that with you if you're interested. But this offering is on our website on the events page. And if you just reach out to me, I'll give you a discount code. Tell me why you're interested. Send me your questions. Portia's amazing. This is going to be a really cool experience and something you can take into the whole rest of your life. Like once you learn this practice and start using it, you always know how to use it. And you can create really amazing, powerful things while also loving yourself, having fun, and feeling good. It's basically win, 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 win. So ask me about it if you're interested. Have a beautiful month, and I will talk to you soon.